I don't want to be too serious because I don't like that, but this video actually includes talks about depression, mental illness, essay, harassment, bullying, and all assortments of other stuff. So please be worried about that before you watch this video. Homunculus is a wild ride throughout its entirety. You first get greeted with the main character, Mr. Nakoshi. He's shown us a homeless man that lives in his car. The very subtle. At first, the vibe of the manga is very heavy. Even at the beginning, the drawings that are very well drawn present this image of dread and emptiness and anxiousness, depression looming, and darkness, like something is about to happen in every page. We get hints at this being a psychological manga when we see pages of Mr. Nakoshi smelling and hearing his car, knowing that it needs fixing or that it is completely fine and is good to go. That meaning his mind works differently than others. Again, this sixth sense and the meaning of that he has something that many other people don't. Before that trepanation, oh, by the way, trepanation is a surgery to alleviate pressure on the brain following an injury to the head or to release evil spirits from the heads of mentally ill people, meaning they will drill holes in your skull and your head without touching the brain. Very dangerous surgery because you can literally die instantly if the tip of the drill goes too far. Usually it's between 5 to 7 millimeters, but you're gonna see later in the story that he doesn't get that big of a hole in his head. So you bet after the surgery he's gonna go nuts, completely nuts, right? I mean, makes sense. A hole in the head doesn't sound fun, but it is a meaning behind it. At least the manga tries to explain it in a way that people, that's based on the true story, people before times and even now in some cultures do this to have a baby-like state of a brain. As you know, babies have a soft spot in the head. You should watch out for that because the baby can die, and meaning that the brain gets more air, more blood, so everything is circulating much more freely inside of the brain. And this is where the manga actually starts. Right after the surgery, I got a feeling of a heavy burden falling upon Nakoshi. Like after here onwards, he's going to go insane. And oh boy, does he go insane. We as readers don't know what to take our attention to from the beginning. Like sudden hints. Like when we learn that the left side of his face is a lying side. Because when he lies, his lip moves up on the left side of his face. But there's more to the left side. We learn that by pure accident after the trepanation, he learns that by covering his right eye and only looking with his left, he can see into people's souls. Or kind of, because the term that we use for what he says differs from a lot in the manga. But we're gonna stick with souls because that's easier to pronounce than homunculi, and I'm not gonna do that. So, why is this manga that deep? Because this manga delves into something that we are afraid of, right? Every human is afraid of this question and is afraid of what comes after. Who are you? This entire manga dwells around him seeing human souls, things that they want to keep deep inside, things that they even have forgotten, but he brings them up with his eye. Exactly like with the Yakuza guy. The first guy that we see, he actually helps with this power that he has now found. He meets him in an alley and he sees his body as not the Yakuza tough guy, but as a robber with that child's face about to cut off his little finger. It sounds funny, and it is. This anime has some comedic breaks in some parts, but the deep secret that this holds, when he actually learns and sees the Yakuza guy face to face afterwards, he learns his secrets. He helps him understand what he has done. And again, was helped by this weird power that our main character Nakoshi has. This manga is asking questions maybe on the characters, but it's very differently done. It's like looking at you, the reader, straight, and it's like, answer this question right now. I felt like there were eyes around me while reading this manga. For example, the situation with his friend, the doctor that did the surgery, when they are both black silhouettes, scared the shit out of me. They were talking deep sentences that I couldn't even comprehend because I was asking them myself and I couldn't answer them. It's very interesting what a manga can do to your mind, really. And of course, changes in Mr. Nakoshi after learning his past somewhat, because he never fully opens up. After noticing why the car, the park, and the hotel are perfect spot for Mr. Nakoshi to be at, not homeless, but not rich, but also the both at the same time. So in summary, I would just say that this manga is a perfect depiction of real life. The story of his addictions in previous life, the change in him, the way of not knowing what's in front of you, and getting hung up in something that is illusions, or people might think that you are delusional by believing in things like this, and you hold it so deep that you've spiraled down into that path. The real feeling of collapsing your life, a very heavy one. And this manga depicts this in very real art and drawings. I would say that this is a perfect depiction of real life. And as a viewer, you watch this to the full. And I want to just ask you one thing. Without terms or labels, who are you?